poorly like voiced over. I gotta show you.
It was like Candy China or something. It was like Castle China something.
Well,
also, we're back.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do our intro.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, we are back. Welcome back to the Dude Actually podcast. We are joined by the one, the only, Matt. From Long Bus Short Thoughts. We are so excited to meet him. It's really cool because most of the time that we've had somebody on, we haven't, usually we've talked to them at least a few times.
Yeah.
So it's super, super cool to have somebody that we can, get to know as you guys get to know them. So, fuck yeah. And we are sponsored by THC Dispensary. Today we are smoking Parvo 2.
I hear a lot of good things about them.
THC Dispensary, they're awesome. We got a buddy that works there, and we walked in one day, and we're like, hey, man, you think your boss would sponsor us? And he's like, well, I'll talk to him about it and stuff. And the next day, he's like, yeah, how much money do you guys want for it, though? And we're like, what? No, we just want to be able to say your name on our podcast and give you guys shout-outs.
That's what's
And he's
up.
like, cool, well, we'll give you guys, new stuff when it comes out, and we'll, do this and that. He straight up asked, how much money we want. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think that was a part of I thought a sponsorship just meant that we can legally say your name on our podcast. We definitely don't want money, but they're like, yeah, we'll give you so they give us a story.
Yeah, we'll take
story discount.
Yeah, look,
and
that's pretty dope. They did, the discount is dope.
Dude, yeah, and it's a good discount.
It's a good discount.
Yeah, I'm like, that's why I don't have a dealer. Are you kidding me?
No, hey, get after it. We actually have Habits Glass and Goodies is our sponsor. And
oh, heck yeah.
They're great people and similar lines,
Habits is sick. I love Habits.
They did pay us though.
Also,
that's good.
I should. I mean, we had
Maybe
one
someday.
episode out or two episodes out when I asked, and I was like, well, what are they?
Look, we were 5 or 6 months into it before we had anybody. Green Star was kind of maybe we'll talk a little bit, but Habits was like, yeah, dude, we got you.
Yeah.
Especially we talk mental health and about raising our kids and. I don't know, man, trying to get through life maybe where we've screwed up, hoping we can save somebody else a step, you know what I mean? And they wanted to support the message, just
well, that's
trying
huge.
to be better
That's
people.
a great message.
That's a company that's a mentality in a company that supports the mentality in your creative. And I don't know if it's a company, but in your their endeavors create or support your endeavors, and that's sick.
Yeah.
We don't have somebody that was like, you know what? I love how much you guys fart and talk about gay shit.
I love
on
how
your
you
podcast.
guys suck each other often to talk about it.
Yeah, I love that you guys have obviously given each other hand jobs.
Yeah, you guys have worked each other like puppets for years now.
So I did listen to, I don't know, a half hour or so in the truck just kind of driving. Mm-hmm. Which one of you guys has the ball dryer?
Me.
Okay.
That's me.
Also, it's no longer Christmas, and I haven't done this, so officially, goodbye, winter.
Goodbye, winter.
I was driving, so I wasn't watching the video, but I heard, ooh, I got a ball dryer, and I was like,
dude.
oh, this is all right.
Yeah, it's that kind of. This ain't your daddy's podcast. That's my mom told me. She told me at the beginning of winter, she's like, well, now that I'm not working because she's got a summer gig that she does, and she's like, now that I'm not working, I can finally binge you and Zack's podcast. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know that. Ma, I don't know if you really should at all do that. I'm like, this is a show about hanging out, and not in ways that are hanging out. Sometimes it's a show about hanging out.
Yeah, literally. Just
I'm like, Mom, you're just not ready to see that side of me yet.
Yeah. See, my mom has seen that side of me already, so she kind of laughs about it, but she knows not really to share it with the family.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's I mean, at least, if there's one person out of my family that would see the podcast, hope it's her, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And if you're watching, Ma, I'm glad you're here.
Thanks for watching.
All
Subscribe.
love, all the time. Yeah, subscribe.
Reese's mom.
That subscriber button is a real struggle sometimes.
It is, yeah, man.
We just hit 20 today. We were at 19.
I was actually
past 2
20.
days. You were 20?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I subbed. I was number 20. I meant to bring that up.
Yeah,
dude,
hell yeah.
That's fucking
awesome
of you, dude.
He gets in my car, we go and grab food. He's like, dude, we're at... Wait! He's like, we're at 20 now, dude. We are at 20.
Oh, dude,
I jumped on the bus, man. Look, it don't take nothing to hit a button.
Exactly.
To hit the subscribe or to share. We're all trying to get by. None of us wants to work 5 or 6 jobs. I was in a semi for 16, 18 hours a day, you know, like
Yeah.
not around the family and everything. And I started the 510 Productions was, you know, I wanted to record other people's podcasts, you know, rent my studio out and, you know, I'll produce it for you, you know, and I don't have any production knowledge or anything. I wanted to be around my kids more. I wanted to be able to work from home if I could, you know. I'd come to Omaha and record and then go back to my house and I could edit there or whatever. And it's just, it has kind of, it turned into let's do the podcast. Which
that's
is
an awesome thing though, dude.
Me and my buddies, we've been around each other 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
I have mental health issues myself. And you know, I grew up in the era where we don't talk about that shit. And there's no crying and all these things. Well, I suffer every day, you know what I mean, with anger, with all these things. And like, you know, my podcast has become the therapy for me and my buddies in a way. You know, we sit there for an hour and we'd have some drinks and talk some trash, have a nice lunch afterwards, and we all feel better. We get it out, you know what I mean? Some of the stuff that's bothering us. It's just that bond of buddies. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's
it spiraled into let's get some comedians or maybe a couple music artists, you know, like. And I invited Strawstone in. Well, okay, my buddy Tom Alfonso. I had said what he tours with Smile Empty Soul. He's their tour manager.
Okay.
So I asked him to come sit down. Let's talk about that. You know, and he brought Strawstone in, and Strawstone, you know, kind of introduced me really to the Omaha music scene. I hadn't.
Nice. That's
really
a great introduction, to be honest. I absolutely love Justin so much. But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt.
you're all good. And him and I have become, you know, pretty good friends. And I went to Four Winds to, you know, support Justin and his guys. And bro, I was turned on to so much good music. And it has been, you know, I approached Tabo and a couple other people at that time and was like, hey, come check us out, you know. And it took some time, you know. We got Tabo in and then DJ Doc, and 4 or 5 days ago, we recorded with King ISO. And
dude, that's awesome.
It has been an adventure. You know, we started out just to focus on ourselves and some mental health and whatnot, and we weren't even sure we were going to put it on YouTube. But it was like, why not? And it has turned into a big, beautiful thing. And I'm actually enjoying life for the first time in like 40-something years. And I'm around my family every day, and spent the other day editing with my 16-month-old. Oh, he's almost a year and a half, but it has changed life gambling on myself. And honestly, my buddies support me just as much, dude. And I have a bar jar on the table, and they probably pay more for more than the whiskey. You know what I'm saying? And it has, the support that has been shown has been amazing.
Dude, that was probably the most awesome, heartwarming thing that I've heard in a long time.
I was going to ask if you were crying.
I'm about to start crying, dude, because that's so amazing. Like, not only your journey on mental health and the growth, but like being able to spend time with the people you care about, and that fostering that mental health and being able to create and put yourself out there and feeling good and happy. Like, that's what everybody wants. So that's...
Well, look, and
this is the first on the cast. That's awesome, dude. Long Bus Short Thoughts. Also, real quick plug: subscribe.
Yeah, we
Doesn't take much
down
to hit
below.
the button.
It does not take much to hit the button.
No,
God
it
damn,
doesn't.
dude.
We're not
awesome.
going to be sending you emails and shit. Like you'll just hear from us like on the YouTubes and on our links.
Yep.
You know,
All the
Subscribe
links.
to both.
we've got our schedule for the next 2 months. Looks really awesome. We have Jay Influential coming on, and I could run out a list here. But we also I have a friend that went through a really rough journey, lost his daughter, and then kind of fell to drugs, and really, I mean, ended up, sleeping in the car and in the park, and has really rallied and brought his life back together, and been in sobriety a little over 5 years, and rocks it out every day, and now he's riding dirt bikes again and living life, and I'm excited to talk about that. And we've got a ton of cool stuff. Snake Lucci from Project Be Well is on my schedule.
Nice. Heck yeah.
Feeling incredibly blessed to be able to share people's stories, man, and their struggle with life, and you know what I mean. It's sometimes those stories help the next person through.
Exactly.
King ISO, his music has helped keep me grounded a little bit. I like to say, keep me out the trees. I always say, if I ever go crazy, bro, I'm just going to disappear into the trees in the mountains. Nobody's going to see me. You know what I mean? It's.
So what do you think, like, a big goal, like, oriented to where you're at right now would be for this year? When you thought about a New Year's resolution, what did you think about?
I have some people that I want to. We really want to try to talk to, like, Ritz and Matt Phoenix, and I really want to try to continue to bring things that are going to help people to the table. I want to get together with Project Be Well and Strawstone as much as I can to help benefit the mental health community and things like that.
You got a lot of, like, medicine coming into your podcast then. Like, that's kind of like one of the big ideologies behind your guests and
some healing.
That's
awesome. Some healing, giving people a place to talk. And look, I can't say that I am not fully opened up. You know what I mean? I still to this day can't talk to my wife like I should be able to. I mean, I'm getting better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was something that wasn't an option to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just don't do that.
Yeah.
So, but I am actively learning and trying to improve myself all the time. Trying to be better for my kids. I got a 14-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and then a 1.5-year-old. So I got a spread, but them kids are the best thing like that ever happened to me. You know what I mean? And they've done their fair share keeping me out the weeds. I got an 8-year-old. His name's Diesel. He was a little heavier dude. I'm a big guy. I was, so my kids are big too. He's 8, and he's already tall and 130 pounds. I mean, he's a big dude. But he was getting made fun of a little bit for his weight and stuff like that. And we started going for walks and things like that. I'm actually down. It's 60 pounds.
Yeah. 60 pounds you're down?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of weight.
Bro, it's a whole little person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, that, and I didn't really realize it until a little late last year that going on the walks with the kid and, having those conversations and what do you want to do when you grow up, and just even playing I Spy while we walk, and it has brought us closer together. We've both, lost weight together, become more healthy, and it's become a beautiful little relationship, kind of the thing you want with your kid, and he inspires me to do everything. And this year for Christmas, he wanted to put a basketball hoop up at the court down. We live in a small town, and the court's, it's in shambles, and the so he's like, let's put a new net and basketball hoop up for everybody. And I kind of went down and looked at the park, and the court's trashed. It's not good basketball. So we're, in his name, we're going to try to collect some funds this year and try to get a new refurbish the court a little bit, get them some new hoops. And
is there a place we can support?
I will be working on that, and we can get.
Cool.
It was just something over Christmas he talked about, and I said, dude, we're gonna do more than a hoop. Like, the kids are our future, and they need a place to play. Yeah. If you don't give these kids a place to play, I had sports. Sports didn't even all the way do it for me. I was still a kid that went out into the streets and was doing drugs, smoking drugs, whatever. I was that asshole. And I really believe that if I had more to do and my parents' focus on me, that, I don't know, bro, it would have kept me out of a lot of stuff. So I'm had I had that support and the sports to be in and all those things, maybe I wouldn't have been doing what I was doing. Sneaking out 13 years old, drinking and, that real dangerous life as a kid. So it's,
Dude, that's awesome that you're wanting to really give back and give more. Like that's super cool. And yes, 100%. If there is ever a way, whenever if that is organized or any way we can like either a GoFundMe or whatever it may be, we would love to help support that, or even just a donation on Venmo or Cash App. Like, dude actually has got your back, because they're the future.
That. Yeah,
yeah.
A
GoFundMe would be a
GoFundMe would be
awesome
awesome
with your like ideological statement attached to it. I think that would get I think you'd get more than a new basketball court out of it. To be honest,
long
if it
bus,
got traction,
bigger playground.
If people actually saw it, like, yeah.
You know,
yeah, dude.
There's a funny story about the name of
what is the name from? I think it's funny. I'm not sure why.
I looked for 800, you know, I had 800 ideas of names, but they were like all taken. You know, somebody had that name everywhere here and there, and I'm like, you know, I bought a bus, a yellow school bus, and I was originally going to build out a studio in there because my house is kind of small where I live, and so I was going to build a studio in the bus. So it was, you know, but we're dumbasses. So it was, you know, short thoughts. You know, we made the long bus cut. You know, we didn't end up on the short bus, but our thoughts are, we're still.
Dude, I like that. I like that so much. With our naming for this podcast, I guess we haven't told you yet. It's just because Reese pointed out to me one time. It was like August. We did a full rebrand we used to be Boss Bus and Bus Boys, and we changed it.
We were having a conversation where I was pointing out a lot of his Zackisms.
He calls them Zackisms also, which means I fucking do everything a lot of times.
Yeah.
I'm just like I'm a robot with 17 unique phrases when you pull the string on my back, basically.
Yeah, you're a tickle me Elmo, dude.
I am. I'm fucking tickle me emo, dude.
That was a fucking awesome line.
But what were you?
Oh no, I was just bringing up that. No, you explain it, but
oh yeah, well
that was just
he
like
said,
the reason.
He said like something you always do is you go, dude, actually, and you put your finger up in the air.
And always point his finger up and like wag it slightly,
dude, actually?
you know? And he'll be like, yeah, like, dude, actually, wait, like, and especially if there's like an idea where especially if it's dumb, but he thinks it's funny, he'll be like, dude, actually, you know. And so when we were thinking about like, boss bus, everyone says boss bus a lot, or like bus, or like people just never get our name right and people don't remember it. I was like, I pointed out to him, he does that all the time. He's like, no, I don't, dude. I don't, like, do I really? I'm like, no, I promise. Like, dude, you do it a lot. He's like, I don't think I do that. And then within like 2 minutes of being in the room together, I said something or somebody said something. He goes, dude, actually? And then he paused. He's like,
froze.
He like looked over at me. He's like, okay, all right. Like
I get it.
And then we thought about it. We had we were thinking of a few different names. One thing was retrofit. And like there's a couple random ones, but he was like, what about dude actually? I'm like, I think that's a great name. I think it's fun, you know? And I think like the way he says it, knowing the way he says it, it's just like, that is the kind of podcast this is. We just kind of want to like brush on like random things in history that people might not know about, or just wacky, zany kind of topics that like, and where it's just like, dude, wait, actually?
Yeah, yeah. Or like, dude, actually, that's a good idea. We should do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's our origin. Dude, you made it to the cut on the long bus, but your thoughts are still short. That's so funny, dude.
Yep.
Dude, thank you again for being on, man. This has been super fun so far, and really inspiring. And like, goddamn, we had Summer on, which felt like our insano grandpa. Which I love. Shout out to you, Summer T. Wind. Awesome.
Yeah, great.
But like,
it was a fun podcast. But
you got loving dad energy, and I mean that in the best way. Like, dude, I feel like inspired, and like I love what you're doing, and I love what you're putting out and helping others that have been through something similar, or even if they haven't, just like giving them a light in a dark place.
You know, my dad, he's like really hard to relate to. He did his best. He wasn't like a bad dad, but he wasn't much of a talker. Didn't really know how to like spend quality time with the kids. I think he was like kind of on the spectrum, to be honest. Back when people didn't really like realize that kind of stuff. But one thing he always used to do is he'd take me fishing, and I hated fishing. But it's like one of my fondest memories because we'd sit, there'd be actual silence, and he had carved out a time in both of our lives to like spend with each other. So like walks with your son, man, like he's gonna remember that forever, like the rest of his life. Like one day you'll be gone, and he'll be like, that was a good dad, and like you've created a great father.
I wake up.
You'll never die.
I wake up, it's cold or it sucks out, and to be honest, man, I'm like, he will be pissed if I don't get moving. You know what I mean? Like, he'll be upset. He may not voice it, but you can tell when he gets out of bed, like, where we at, dude? Why are you sitting in here instead of like So it's
Well, it's good to show him the commitment too. It's like, I'm sure that's a driving force. It's like, we're doing it, you know, like. And man, like
he makes me take a picture, like an accountability picture. And he's like, now put it on Facebook.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And by the end of the day, he kind of wants to. How many? Do people like it? So people again hitting the button kind of inspires him too. So it's a circle of inspiration.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah.
You guys are still young. Obviously, kids are awesome, but wait.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are kind of chasing your dreams now, music and podcasts and all that stuff, which is awesome. I was 40-something before I had the balls to bet on myself to do something cool, you know what I mean? Like, but I'll tell people out there, don't wait till you're this fucking old to do what you want to do or do what you want to love. Or I wasted 42 years doing trucking and things like that, and now I'm trying to cram it all in. Let's do all the cool shit.
You're doing a darn good job of it, I'll say that.
My dad, he was always like, he was so upset when I dropped out of college, like, and it was community college too. Like I had a couple like possible scholarship opportunities, didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just did elective courses out here. And I told him, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to take a couple years off if I want to come back to it. And he was just like crushed, man. But then I started moving around a lot, and I started traveling. And one thing he told my brother once, not even me directly, because he's weird, And he tells my brother, he's like, I worry about your brother because, I want him to have health care and all these things. I want him to have like something concrete, and but I'm really glad that he's living his life now because it's something he never had the courage to do, Dad's worked at 2 jobs for the last 40 years or more, and it's like it provided for his family, and we've never like gone to bed hungry or anything like that. He's been a real fucking provider, a real man. But it's like, man, if you got something that like is always eating at you, like you gotta jump on it. It'll psychologically change you, like having those stresses or things where you're at constant like dissonance with yourself. It's just, I don't know. You got to make those decisions now. Well, not like now, but you gotta make
while
them.
You're young.
Yeah.
Travel's
a big one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an idiot. I used to live in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, okay.
I never went to see the Grand Canyon.
Damn.
Like, what an asshole.
Damn. Have you still not seen it?
No.
That's on my bucket list.
Is it around Phoenix?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
a lot of people think
not terribly far.
It's in Nevada.
Or I was thinking New Mexico.
Bro, it's a pretty Grand Canyon.
I think
they
talked about it in Looney Tunes Back in Action.
We had a friend that
I was like, huh.
They did.
We had a friend that had been to a lot of places. He had gone to Europe and went on a whole backpacking trip and like had this whole thing routed for like major fucking places. We were living out in Oregon for a while. He'd just been around, but he went to the Grand Canyon and said like top 3 most incredible things he's ever seen. Yeah. And I never cared. Before then I was like, wow, a giant hole in the ground, like that's, and I get it, like history wise, like the glaciers moved through there and carved it's cool, but nothing I'd drive to Arizona for. But my buddy's saying top 3, I'm like, I gotta go see it.
I even had a motorcycle. I could have rode my motorcycle.
That's a big mistake. This is what I'm saying. You need a reason at that point. Like you got a motorcycle on the Grand Canyon in your backyard.
I just had a memory, and also I think it's really funny that they describe
that doesn't happen often. We better buckle up.
It's what my parents told me what they did, but I think it's really funny that the Grand Canyon, we named it just not anything fun at all. We just named it exactly as it's described. It's literally a Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
We could have called it like fucking Timothy's TARDIS.
Yeah.
Like we could have called it
even
anything,
something like really
the
cool,
gargle mesh, like the holy under tunnel
We could have called it like Sequoia Nama, like
Yokisabi-san,
you know, and that would have been sick.
That would have been so sick, but we called it the Grand. This is a Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Some white guy in the fucking early days was like Grand Canyon.
Well, and probably what happened too was like they like settled in the area, and guy was like just going and exploring, and he's like, "Have you guys seen this canyon over here? Like 3 miles that way?" They're like, "No." Like he's like, it's a grand canyon. Like this fucker's huge, you know.
Probably had a really dope Native American name.
Oh, I'm sure
it probably did.
I'm sure
it was.
Dude, I bet they did some cool stuff. I bet that's where they like, you know, discarded the bad ones or whatever. You know, they're like, oh, he's got a fucked up arm or whatever.
It's like when the
Spartans, you know, just cast them out.
Yeah. Like, oh, this one looks just a little too weird.
I wonder how much like archeological digs they've done down there
to check for the
check
for the bones of children.
Surely people fall in, right? Like people fall in that thing.
Well,
people
sure
died in the Grand Canyon.
Oh, yeah. Well, my parents, this is what the memory I thought of. I don't know. For one of their anniversaries, they rode donkeys up and down the Grand Canyon, actually. And they were talking about how they rode a donkey down, or like they each rode donkeys down to the base, and then they stayed the night at a campsite, and then they rode donkeys back up the next day.
That's
like,
some racist ass shit your parents did.
What do you mean? They're donkeys. They're probably native to around there.
So since the 1800s, we have about 900 documented deaths at the Grand Canyon.
That's
about 11 deaths a year.
That's a long ass time.
There's multiple barriers too for any border. I've seen them on live streams.
The leading cause of deaths at the Grand Canyon are airplane and helicopter crashes. The second, which is in my mind the most likely, and the whole thing that I thought was people falling, and that's somehow the second.
It's crazy.
That's just a common one. Dude, and then environment, people overheat or drown. Cardiac arrest. So many seniors go to the Grand Canyon. One of 5 ways that people die at the Grand Canyon is being in retirement.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm probably gonna be that old when I get there. That's how. You know what? Fuck it. I'm kicking it at the canyon. That's how I'm going out, bro. Bucket list.
Dude.
There'll be that last thing. I'm gonna be
throw
like
a
Grand
line
Canyon
out
and just kick it as I pull in the parking lot.
Dude, you gotta buy the exact same motorcycle you had when you lived in Arizona and just fucking
ride it into the
like
into
you're
the
like
canyon sunset.
Fucking put it on the news like this guy's gonna jump the Grand Canyon. You know, there's no way you got that shit.
You know you're gonna jump 6 feet into the Grand Canyon.
Like 93-year-old. You know,
do one of those stoppies up the ramp. Just go off Homer Simpson style,
dude. That would be so funny. This guy's he plans to jump the Grand Canyon. He must have something up his sleeve. And
thousands of people show up.
And
he knows he's like,
forward. You just
like this. Best joke in history, I kill myself in front of thousands of people and all of the media. Like yeah, like even get fake credentials. Like later on, like maybe like in your 60s, like get into like stunt car driving or something, you know? So you have like a couple, you know, do like a really low budget porn where you're not in the porn, but you are the stunt car driver in the back.
I got 4 sons. We live in the country. It's always stunt driving.
Oh, there we go, dude.
Yeah,
and this is already the perfect
down.
Yep. So do you guys have any like fun like power toys? You guys got like a side by side?
We had a 4-wheeler. I had to sell at times. Struggling, trying to buy equipment, trying to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get another 4-wheeler, but yeah, it's, you know, we got a bus. And,
yeah,
and a camper. We got a camper.
We had this little mini bike that never fucking like worked right as a kid. You got like 15 miles per hour. But
I used to have one too.
Yeah, and it was gas powered.
Yeah,
you know, but we had it in a small engine shop like 5 times in the first 3 years. I think. Well, I shouldn't even say the first. I think we probably only had it for 3 years before Dad was like, "Fuck this," you know.
Dude, you must have unlocked my childhood.
Yeah, that's the second time you've had thoughts tonight, dude.
Yeah,
I'm getting scared. Dude.
I don't know, dude. Yeah, I used to have a mini. It was green. It was a mini motorbike, and it only went up to like 20 miles an hour. But I had to fucking fill it with gas. Like, didn't have a job, so I'd have to siphon gas from my mom's car. I didn't do that, but no, she just bought me gas. No,
I got my car siphoned out once.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I got the Chrysler siphoned out. I have a classic car that me and Dad put together.
Dude, why would they steal that gas from such a good vehicle?
It's easy in the old cars.
Well, yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I've never
mine's
siphoned.
below the license plate, and like, dude, if you need the shortest tube ever, you don't have to like really route it through stuff. Like, cars make it hard now. Like, that's just a straight pipe. If I overfill gas, it just like right out. You know, like I gotta like wait. I gotta keep my fucking shit on it just in case. You know. Because you can hear it, like it's like sounds like a straw, you know, like you hear it fill in the tank, and then all of a sudden it's like, and you're like, all right, okay, you know, and dude, like one day I went out and my gas gauges never worked. We replaced the fucking hardware. I don't know. I think it's the gauge itself, but I went out, started, everything was normal. I got like 15 feet or more, and yeah, it just was like sputtering and doing weird shit. I'm like, what the fuck, you know? And I like put it in park, revved it a few times, and it died. It's like, oh hell yeah,
dude! I've never gotten siphoned. I've never siphoned either.
Yeah, it's premium gas. They got lucky, dude.
I towed cars for a while, and there was a while where I was towing cars where people would drill a hole in the tank and just catch it in a tub.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's like such a.
Sounds kind of dangerous too.
It does,
Bro,
and also like not that much profit for what you could
Let's
get.
run a drill into a gas tank.
Yeah,
I guess if it's quick, but like that's not even good.
Well, and
profit.
a lot of the time when you stop a drill,
how do you sell...
there is going to be that spark, so it immediately stops. You know, like within the copper, like it sparks a little. If gas came right onto it, it probably could. I don't know.
I mean, some of them got they're plastic tanks mostly now, and
yeah, true.
But it's
like, is there a second-hand gas market?
No, they probably poured it in their own truck.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. They were just like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let me go drive.
The catalytic converter's already gone. Let me just steal the gas.
That's true.
Welcome to Omaha.
Dude, in Oregon, there was a time where I was a gallon at a time kind of guy, you know, like $7-8 gallons. I drove a truck. Like, it just wasn't worth it, dude.
$7 or $8. Whoa.
Yeah. Man, and that's just the cheap gas, you know, like
dude,
premium.
Now.
If I had my classic out there, they would never leave the garage.
I drive big ass diesels.
Yeah.
Like the truck I brought here tonight has a 44-gallon tank. No.
Damn. What do you
Excursion?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we used to have an Excursion.
You did. Was that the big
Yeah, big black
the bus?
Diesel bus.
Nice.
Yeah, we called it the bus cuz it's like a bus.
Yeah.
And 7-seaters.
I got 4 kids, bro. I gotta have that shit.
Yeah. So you got to plug in this time of year then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I maintain it so it'll start when it's 0 degrees. As long as I check, turn the key a couple times and let it warm up a little bit, it'll. But yeah, if you don't take care of them, it won't start.
No. Yeah.
Why not?
Diesel.
Oh, it's a diesel. Yeah. Wait, really? You have to have it warm?
Yeah, well, I mean,
I know nothing.
My diesel trucks, you plug them in. When it's really cold outside.
Like the electricity?
There's a heater that goes into the block that heats the oil, so it keeps it nice and moves easy. Obviously, you get a liquid oil really cold, it gets thicker.
Yeah.
So it keeps everything a little warmer, so it'll start.
Yeah.
Why hasn't anybody told me? So I didn't know you had to plug
one time. Do you
plug
remember,
your cars in if you have a diesel?
We took
my whole life. That's crazy.
Some of the newer ones you don't have to. I had a Volkswagen Passat diesel that you didn't have to, but
we spent the night at Michael's that one winter.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was you. It might have been me and Caleb, but
might have been.
Dad didn't think it was going to get cold enough overnight. He let me borrow his Excursion, and I didn't plug it in. And in the morning when we went to leave, Michael's parents were gone. We couldn't get back into the house. So I had to knock on the neighbor. I was like, "Do you guys have like a long extent?" We sat there for like 45 minutes or more, just waiting.
Oh yeah.
I'd like try it. I'm like, shit.
If I don't put fuel treatment in the winter, the fuel, if it gets cold enough, like below 0, sometimes the fuel turns into a gel, and you have to replace your fuel filters and get the fuel up to a temperature where it's a liquid again.
Yeah.
You have to put your truck in a shop so it heats. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, I didn't know this because all Cummins engines are diesel, right? Or are they all regular?
Cummins is a diesel, yeah.
Dang, dude, I thought they were. We must get a diesel 2.0.
If you got like a new turbo diesel, I think a lot of them have like auxiliary power that.
Oh, so it like self-heats?
If a truck gets cold, it'll take reserve power, and you don't want to have to plug it in.
There is a unit on some semis.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but there is
something like that.
It's 3 or 4 letter deal.
Because I had a boss in Oregon, and he had a 3500 turbo, like, dually, and yeah, I was like, so you got to plug this in. And he's like, no, I don't have to plug this one in. It's new enough. And he didn't really explain it to me, but that's at least what I kind of thought it was. Like, so it knows? He's like, yeah, it'll heat everything.
I feel like it was APU or something. I don't know.
Something, yeah. But I was like, dude, that's fucking awesome. That's sick.
This is all such new news to me. I did not know anything about this.
Fucking Dad's here teaching you some stuff.
Yeah,
dude,
man.
you've taught me so much. I feel learned. I feel learned and smarted.
Well, it might be time to learn some more stuff on the Patreon.
It
honestly,
is.
I'm not certain. Is it?
I believe it is. It's about that time.
Is there anything else you'd like to plug? Anything
before
else?
We move over to
closing remarks?
No, I mean check out Long Bus Short Thoughts. We're on Spotify and YouTube now.
Link below.
We're gonna work on getting into Amazon Music and some other things. I'm old and don't understand.
Dude, I can help you out a lot with that.
Look, we can.
Yeah,
y'all should definitely.
Yeah, we'll.
Yeah, shit, and I cook, bro. I cook good on the smoker.
Dude,
you come over.
What kind of smoker
Can you be my dad?
Can you adopt me? It's my buddy's house out here. I'm not sure what kind of smoker he's got.
Well, I mean, like, is it like a flat or is
it's
it
a pellet? It's only we have one.
Oh,
flat.
so not a cabinet.
Okay,
because
I've got 3 smokers at home because I have a big one that's like on a trailer and then 2 smaller ones.
Yeah.
But look, dude.
Oh, bro. So you're gonna have to.
I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to grow some
brownies and cookies in my smoker. You like mix the brownie and cookie together in a pan and put it in the smoker, bro? Fuck. Some chocolate syrup or some caramel in there too.
I'll make you one, Zach. I got you.
I need you.
But
I would love.
I almost.
You and I will talk meat then, because I got a cabinet for my birthday in October, and I'm still working with it. I made a good brisket the other night, but like all my chicken and like most of my loins are just like okay. You know, they're good.
Brisket, I suck. For some reason.
I like your pork.
Pulled pork, steaks, like. You can ask the people that come to my podcast, King ISO, Tabo, all those guys. They steak and salmon is what I fed them.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
But I make a steak that it melts in your mouth and yeah.
Dude, yeah.
I almost started a YouTube channel called Getting Fat with Big Matt. Like, I'm funny. I had a food truck idea. I wanted to call it the company Butt Stuff. Yo, and just make like pulled pork sandwiches or burritos.
Nice.
Just out of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's all we got is, you get it on a potato or whatever.
Yeah.
But the merch would go crazy too, you could ask the wife like, hey, you want to try butt stuff? And when she's like, no, you just go eat barbecue alone.
Yeah. That's really funny.
That's good, dude. Heck yeah. Well, we'll see you on the Patreon where he officially adopts me as his son. But thank you for tuning in to a Dude Actually podcast. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you on the Treon.
Yeah.
See you on the Patreon.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.